In a moment, transcribed.
Presenting Charles Boyer.
Vous qui passez sans me voir. La, 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 la.
Hello, my dear. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Michel. La 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 dee, la la, la la la,
The National Broadcasting Company takes pleasure in presenting a new series starring Charles Boyer as Michel. Each of us has a very personal acquaintance with the house we live in, with its weaknesses, its strengths, its dark corners, and the places where warmth and comfort ought to be found. And that is the way that Michel knows Paris, because Paris is Michel's home. The floors are made of asphalt and cobblestone, the walls of stone and brick, and the ceiling, well, sometimes the ceiling is painted a deep and relaxed blue. Sometimes it is gray and somber. Not everyone can manage such a home, but not every home can boast of a resident as resourceful as Michel. If you will look through the window of that little restaurant on a back street of one of the poorer districts of Paris, you will see him. He's sitting at a table, waiting for his friend Bart Conway, the American writer.
There you are, Michel. I've discovered that walking on cobblestones is hard on the feet. Mine are crying for mercy.
I know what you mean, Mr. Conway. If you walk on the cracks between the stones, your shoe pinches. And if you walk on the crowns of the stones, your heels and toes are painfully suspended in midair.
That's right. I hope the food here is worth the trip. I must confess it doesn't look very promising.
I ask you to meet me here for two reasons.
Namely?
First, I thought you would welcome a change from the rich food and rich prices of the fashionable restaurants I've taken you to in the past. I confess that my conscience has been bothering me lately.
Oh, come now, Michel. You don't expect me to believe that. What was the real reason for bringing me here?
Well, this unpretentious restaurant serves the finest bread in Paris. And only the finest bread is worthy of the cheese I've brought with me.
Brought with you? Here?
Certainly. César, the proprietor, chef, and waiter, has it in the kitchen. He surrounds it with fresh white bread and the nameless and proud red table wine of the people.
You make it sound like a banquet. Where did you buy the cheese, Michel?
Buy? Can one buy something which has been salted with the tears of a little girl? Can one purchase the fragrance of the French countryside? Of course not. This cheese was sent to me by a hard-working farmer who lives in the hilly country near Lyon. It is remarkable not only because of its delicate flavor, but also because it is associated with a very moving story.
Ah, I see.
What? What do you see?
That this modest little meal is going to cost me $200.
But when your publisher reads your version of the story, he will gladly pay you far more than my fee for introducing you to the family of Pierre Brunel.
All right, Michel. Let's have a story while we eat some of this very expensive cheese.
Not so very long ago, Mr. Conway, I had the easiest job of my varied career.
I assume there wasn't the slightest bit of deception connected with it in any way.
No, Mr. Conway. True deception is an art which I practice only on my stomach. There have been times when I actually succeeded in convincing that organ that it was full of braised duck, orange sauce, and good wine.
When in reality
it was so empty, if you had struck it, it would have sounded a low F of a kettle drum.
Go on, Michel. What about your job?
Well, I was employed by a real estate syndicate, which owned a lovely old castle on the River Rhône. It was situated close to a little village, and, what was more important, within easy reach of the main Paris-Marseille highway. The cars of every nation in the world traveled that road, Mr. Conway, and many of them stopped to pay a visit to the castle.
And you were the guide?
Oh, no, not at all. I was the jewel in the crown. I wandered about the grounds in a hunting costume, complete with feather hat, and shotgun. My only restriction was that I had to stay within sight of the castle tower during visiting hours. From there, I could be pointed out to the tourists as the non-existent proprietor of the castle, the last of the Dukes de Dombre.
Did you ever shoot anything?
Of course not. But I wore a pair of stuffed partridges at my belt for effect.
I see. And you bought the birds from the farmer in question?
No, I met the Brunels in quite another fashion. One day, toward closing time, I was in a corner of the grounds, adjoining a rocky, uncultivated hillside. My thoughts were suddenly disturbed by the sound of a despairing, heartbroken call, repeated over and over. I hurried in the direction of the voice.
Mathilde! Mathilde! Where are you, little Mathilde? Mathilde, please answer me! Mathilde! Oh, I should never have let you out of my sight. A little thing like you. Mathilde! Answer me! It's Papa Pierre! Mathilde!
It was a middle-aged farmer. The tears were streaming down his face, and he was limping badly. His trousers were torn, and there was an ugly gash in his left leg. There were no rich farmers in that section, and I didn't need the evidence of his torn shirt to know that he had other troubles besides Mathilde. He supported himself along the hillside, still calling, and then he fell again and lay there, his face pressed to the ground, sobbing. I got to him as quickly as I could. Hey, well, my friend, what's the trouble? You need a little help.
Mathilde.
Oh, come now. Let me help you up. Here, take my hand.
It's no use. She's gone.
Oh, she can't have wandered very far. You're in no condition to climb around anymore.
What am I going to tell Marie? She'll never forgive me.
Tell me, how long has she been missing?
Since this morning, monsieur.
Oh?
Oh, it's all my fault. She wasn't old enough to take care of herself. I should be put in jail. That's what I deserve.
No, it isn't dark yet. We have plenty of time to look for her. But you have to rest a bit and have that leg attended to. Where's your house?
Over the hill, in the next valley.
Oh, well, that's not so far. Now, let me have your hand. Good. There. Your arm over my shoulder now. That's all right. Just lean on me as much as you want.
No, I can't. I have to go on looking. Mathilde! Mathilde!
Please, stop that now. What good would it do if you got lost, too? All right, my friend. Let's go now. Keep your eyes on the ground and watch the stones. There we are. Just a few more steps now. How's your leg?
Oh, what does it matter?
Is there anyone at your house?
My wife, Marie. My daughter, Cecile. Cecile? Oh, what am I going to tell her?
Is Cecile older than Mathilde?
Older? Why, of course, monsieur. Cecile is 12.
And Mathilde?
Papa! Mama, he's come back.
Oh, monsieur, help me now.
Papa, did you find her?
If I found her, do you think I would be coming home without her?
Oh, Papa, what are we going to do? It's all my fault.
No, my child. Don't blame yourself. I should have taken better care of her. I'm the father. It was my responsibility.
I'll never forgive myself.
Here comes your mother. It's going to be hard enough on her without you crying. Shh. Quiet now.
Well, Pierre, no sign of her, huh?
No, Marie. I tried very hard. I looked everywhere.
I know. Well, we've got to keep on until we find her.
But the neighbors, won't they help? She must be around someplace. How far can she have gone?
Who knows?
Well, I'll tell them. We'll get up a search party.
No. Our neighbors have enough troubles of their own.
But surely they wouldn't...
Pierre, your leg. What happened?
Oh, more bad luck. I fell on the rocks near the chateau.
Let me look at it.
Yep.
Oh, that has to be washed off. Here, let me help you.
No, I'll get him to the house, madam. You and Cecile run ahead and get some water and bandages ready.
Yes, monsieur. Right away.
All right, my friend. Let's try it again.
Mathilde, my poor little one. What are we going to do without you?
There we are. Cecile, open the door for us, will you?
Yes, monsieur.
Thank you, monsieur. You have been very kind to us in our moment of trouble.
You're a good friend. What is your name? We know you're not really the Duke.
No, I'm not the Duke. At this moment, I wish I were. My name is Michel.
Will you have something to eat with us? We don't have very much, but you'll honor us by staying. Since Mathilde disappeared...
No, I wouldn't think of it. You have your husband to take care of now.
This leg. This cursed leg.
Ah, don't worry, Monsieur Brunel. Cecile and I will continue the search immediately. We will go to the village and notify the gendarme. A young thing like Mathilde can't have wandered very far. Come, Cecile.
Yes, Michel.
Well, now, Cecile, you'll have to describe Mathilde to me so I'll recognize her. How old is she?
Only 2 years.
What? Only 2?
And so pretty. With the softest hair and brown eyes. She... Mathilde is the best cow in the whole province.
Cow? Mathilde is a cow?
Certainly. What did you think she was, monsieur? A cat?
Yes, Cecile, I confess I thought she was a cat. My first inclination was to laugh, Mr. Conway, but then I remembered that the Brunels were farmers. And a farmer without a cow is like a gypsy without a horse. To Pierre Brunel, the cow meant wealth and a certain amount of security. To his wife, it meant food for the family. And, well, to Cecile, Mathilde meant a friend and companion. A look around Pierre's hut convinced me that replacing Mathilde would be a great hardship. She had to be found. Since Pierre was unable to climb anymore because of his leg, Cecile and I continued the search. Here, Cecile, what about these tracks? Oh, they look pretty enough to belong to Mathilde.
Oh, no, Michel. Those tracks are several days old. And they belong to an older and larger cow. See, there was a calf with it. It's probably Mr. Garreau's clochette.
Oh, well, now that you point it out, of course I see it. Would you mind if we sat down for a minute on this nice, cool rock?
As you wish, Michel.
Thank you. You know, Cecile, city people are not so used to scrambling up and down mountains. When all of one's climbing has been confined to the stairs of the subway in Paris, well, these little hills seem like the Mont Blanc itself. I must say it's very lovely in your countryside, Cecile.
Yes, Michel. But as my papa says, one cannot eat scenery.
That is true. Your papa is a very wise man.
And he works so hard. And Mama, too. Now he has hurt his leg. And Mathilde is lost.
Are you the only child, Cecile?
I had an older brother, but the war...
Oh, yes. War does things to older brothers, doesn't it? Now, tell me about Mathilde. Does she come from your farm?
Oh, yes. You see, her mother died when she was born, and we were all very sad.
I can imagine.
But little Mathilde was so brave and strong, and so smart, too. You know, Michel, Mathilde understands me when I talk to her. Some cows only pretend to understand, but Mathilde really does. She winks her eye, or nods her head, or wiggles her ears, and I know just what she means.
Of course you do.
And she is kind, so very kind. You won't believe this, but I have seen her step to one side so she wouldn't crush a butterfly on the path.
Oh, I believe you. You say she has brown hair and eyes.
Yes, Michel. Don't you think we'd better...
Oh, by all means. Let's resume our search. There. Well, thank you for letting me rest, Cecile. You know, from what you tell me of Mathilde, She's too wise to get lost. He's probably playing a joke on us, hiding in a bush and laughing as she watches us search for her.
Oh, no, Michelle. Mathilde would never do anything like that. She knows it wouldn't be funny.
You're right. Well, let's try calling her some more, shall we?
Mathilde! Mathilde! Michelle, she can't have gone as far as this.
How do you know? Did she leave a note for you saying, "Dear Cecile, I'm just going up to the North Field to sample some new clover. Lovingly, Mathilde"?
Oh, of course not. Mathilde can't write.
She can't? Well, from what you have told me, I was sure that was one of her accomplishments. You know, I'm really looking forward to meeting Mathilde. She sounds like such an unusual person.
Oh, she is.
When we get together, I'm going to teach Mathilde how to speak French. Then you and I will manage her campaign and have her elected to the Chamber of Deputies. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Oh, no, Michelle.
No? Oh, you think she should become a senator, eh? Well, I do too. Then maybe she can get me a job as janitor. Oh, Cecile!
What is it?
I think I just saw her. Senator Mathilde. Up ahead. She went behind that big boulder.
Come on, Michelle. Where? Where is she?
Straight ahead. Then to the left.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Brown hair.
I don't see
A
her.
little bit farther. There. There she is.
That's not Mathilde, Michelle.
It isn't? Oh, I'm sorry, Cecile. I was sure it was.
Oh, no, that's Papa Bruno's old Jersey cow. She's nothing like Mathilde.
Well, now that I get a good look at her, I don't see how I could possibly have confused her with the senator. All right, Cecile, let's try up this way. And now, if we go up this little rise here, we ought to get a pretty good view of the other fields.
Yes, Michelle.
I must admit I'm getting worried myself. Well, maybe the opposition heard she was going to run for office and kidnapped her to keep her out of the race.
Yes, Michelle.
Tell me, Cecile, isn't that the Paris highway down there?
Yes, Michelle.
Well, let's get on up to the top so we can get a good look. Up we go. There. Now, let's see. Nothing over that way, and nothing that... Oh, Cecile, we're wasting our time here. Let's go down the other way.
But we just got here,
No,
Michelle.
I was wrong. There's nothing to see from this place. Come on now.
First you rush up here.
Now, Cecile, we have to hurry.
Then you... Oh. Michelle,
Eh? What is it?
there. By the side of the road. It's Mathilde.
Yes, little one.
She's dead.
I'm afraid so.
Oh, my poor papa. My poor papa.
I had tried hard to keep Cecile's hopes alive, Mr. Conway, but what could I tell her now? I led her home. She didn't resist because she was drained of all emotions and feeling. When we got to Pierre's little house, it was I who had to tell them that Mathilde had fallen victim to the rushing, insensitive traffic at the highway. It wasn't easy. What does one say to a family of 3, half of whose life has been destroyed? I did the only thing I could. I promised Cecile that I would find a new cow for her, that somehow I would see to it that the Brunels would have another Mathilde. But how? I couldn't do it myself because I was as penniless as the last of the dukes who had sold the castle. I finally went to see the mayor of the little village. Now, Monsieur le Maire, there must be something we can do. Loss of that cow means so much to the family. They don't have...
I know. You forget that I also am a farmer, monsieur, and not very much better off than Pierre Brunel.
Of course, I realize that.
We are not a large enough community to support a full-time mayor. My office is more an honor bestowed upon me by my fellow countrymen than a profession.
I understand, but it does give you a position of leadership, of authority. Couldn't you suggest, perhaps, that the members of the community each contribute a few francs to buy a new car for the Brunels? Since everybody understands the problem, they might be anxious to do it.
My dear sir, there is no doubt in my mind about the desire of all the people of the village to help. The question is of their ability.
Oh, but only...
You said a moment ago a few francs. That is a lot of money. This has been a very difficult year, a bad season, a bad crop, and a bad winter ahead. Each of us, like Brunel, has borrowed money on whatever we own.
What is Brunel going to do now?
I wish I knew. It's not only Brunel. His is the third cow this year that's been killed on that devilish highway. I've warned all my constituents about it, but what good is a warning? What we need is a cattle guard at that crossing and some solid public fencing. But the village is in no position to pay for it. If I put in our little jail all those who owe back taxes, monsieur, there would be nobody left to farm.
I see. It's not a very hopeful picture.
I'm afraid not.
And nobody knows whose cow will be next. Which Pierre or Antoine or Francois will have to figure out how he can get along without milk for his family.
I am only the mayor, not a financier. Believe me, I weep at night when I think of Brunel and little Cecile. But a mayor who weeps is a disgrace to the office. I curse that road. It has never brought us anything but hard luck.
Wait a moment. The road.
What about the road?
Mr. Mayor, the road has killed little Mathilde. The road shall pay for her.
You are joking.
Not a bit of it. Listen to me closely. Now you all know what to do. Yes. When I give the signal, the first half of the mourners start across the road. The cart follows, and then the rest of you. Now, look. Can you fix the black drapes on the car so they show a little clearer?
Yes, indeed.
That's it, that's fine. And the plumes on the horse. That's very good.
Are you sure the cars will see us in time and not run into the procession? I don't want any of the people from the village hurt.
Oh, the road is very straight, Mr. Mayor, and the drivers can see a good mile ahead of them. I'll step out first to act as a bumper if one is needed.
But I don't want you to get hurt either. It would be a disgrace to the village.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I have an infinite desire to stay alive. I promise you I won't allow myself to join Mathilde.
Oh, there's something coming from Lyon.
Oh, the glasses, quick. Yes. Oh, no. It's a little Ford in terrible condition. Let it go by. You know, these are very good glasses, monsieur.
I was a captain in the artillery a long time ago.
Oh, I see. Oh, look. What? Another one. Coming from Paris this time. A Rolls Royce. And a new one. All right, start the procession. Hey, driver, get the cart moving. I'll go out on the road now.
Good luck, monsieur, and be careful.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, monsieur, for stopping you. The procession will be across the road in a moment, and then you can proceed.
That's quite all right. Is it a funeral?
Yes, monsieur.
An important person in the village by the looks of it.
Oh, yes. Very important. A cow.
A cow?
That's right. The best cow in the whole province. And the entire resource of a hard-working and devoted family. Killed by some unthinking driver on this very road. Killed by someone rushing heedlessly to Paris or Marseille, no doubt for a vacation and a good time.
I see.
Somehow the people in the village are going to try to replace the car for their neighbor. You see, they realize how important it is.
Of course. Monsieur.
Yes, monsieur.
May I would like to... Would the village accept a contribution of $5 toward the cost of the animal from one of the drivers on the road?
Oh, the village would be happy and honored, sir.
Good. Here you are.
Oh, thank you. And may you sleep as well tonight as the farmer you have rescued from despair. Hey, look now. A big Fiat from Rome. Start across now.
Oh,
Scusatemi, signori, ma la processione sarà attraverso il cammino in un momentito. Verzeihung, meine Herrschaften. Please, one moment, monsieur. Please do forgive me, monsieur.
£6 sterling, 1,300 lira, 10 Dutch guilder, 16 American dollars.
Quiet! Please, everybody, you're disturbing the mayor.
1,000 francs, 10 Mexican pesos, and there is still more, monsieur.
Oh, yes, a whole pocketful. Do we have enough, Mr. Mayor?
Enough for 3 cows, an American cattle guard, a good strong fence, and what is your given name, my friend?
Michel.
And enough for a statue to the king of the highwaymen, Michel I. My friends, this land of ours is a hard taskmaster. Sometimes it is even cruel. But there are occasions like today when it brings us joy and happiness. Pierre Brunel.
Mr. Mayor?
I now present to you, in the name of the Paris-Marseille highway, this fine cow to replace the one so recently deceased.
My friend?
Now, Pierre, that's enough of a speech. Don't you think so, Cecile?
Oh, yes. What do you think, Mathilde?
So you fulfilled your promise, Michel. You replaced Mathilde I with Mathilde II. And what was your reward?
My reward, Mr. Conway, was the kiss of a wonderfully happy 12-year-old girl. And?
Yes, and?
Once a year, I receive a big round cheese from Pierre Brunel, the product of Mathilde II.
And that is the cheese you brought with you today?
Correct. And its delicate flavor cannot be duplicated.
A lovely story, Michel. What about your job at the castle? Did that last very long?
No, I left shortly after because I had an opportunity to accompany a deep-sea diver on his search for a treasure ship of the Spanish Armada.
You did? Well, tell me about it.
I wish I could, Mr. Conway, but I forgot.
Don't tell me you don't remember it anymore.
No, Mr. Conway. I mean, I forgot that is another story. And, of course, another $200.
The role of Bart Conway is played by Herbert Butterfield. Also in the cast were Gene Bates, Paul Frees, Ann Whitfield, Stanley Farrar, Eric Snowden, and Margot Powers. Our show was directed by Nat Wolff. Tonight's script was written by David V. Robeson. Characters of Michel and Bart Conway were created by Ernest Voidya and Clement Scott Gilbert. This program was transcribed. Don Stanley speaking.
On NBC.